Okay. So a structure of the heart, different parts of the heart, and this is again uh, important things about the heart for foramen tendinae and the papillary muscles, and this is coronary circulation. So these all three parts represent the structure of the heart. Then we are going to learn how heart is functioning. In order to learn how heart is functioning, first we try to understand what is the mechanism of contraction of the heart. So this is again a drawing of the heart. So we are trying now to understand what make it to contract. Okay, can you remember we have learned the muscles tissue. The first lesson is the tissues. We have learned the muscle tissues. Briefly, the heart muscle look like this. So they are like this, and there's a branching. The heart muscle branch like this. This is a heart muscle, and this nucleus is here. So when heart muscle branch like this area is the end. And we can still notice there is a kind of lines like this called striations. So we can notice the striations of the heart muscles. Now this is one heart muscle or cardiac myocyte. Cardiac is heart, myocyte is a muscles. So heart muscles. This heart muscle connected with another heart muscles. So here is the connection. So this is connected with another heart muscle like this. And this one is again connected with another heart muscles. And this one is connected with another heart muscles. Now, what is the message we get from this kind of organization? Can we say heart muscles join with another heart muscles, and likewise all the muscles are joined to make a big network? That means all muscles are connected with each other different way. Indirectly or directly, they are connected. That means these three, you can see this 1, 2, and 3 muscles. So if I draw another muscles here, so this connection is directly with this one. Like if this is a muscle and this is a B, A and B is connected. By doing that, B and C is also connected. B and C connected. That means A and C is also connected. So if I draw a line, A and B connected and B and C connected. That means A can connect with B, B can connect with C. So what we're trying to understand, it make a network, a huge network with all the muscles connected with each other. Then we make a clear conclusions. Heart muscles make a big network by connecting with each other. That means if something originated from one place, it can communicate it to the other place. It's like a network. Then these are muscles, right? So muscles, they have a property, can contract and relax. Contract and relax. So muscles can contract and relax. So how muscle contract? We are going to learn under the skeletal muscles. When you're learning the musculoskeletal system, we're going to learn the mechanism of contraction. And we are not going to learn under this section how the heart muscle contract mechanism, the mechanism of heart muscle contraction, we are not going to learn. Generally, we're going to understand muscle can contract and relax. So you can also understand with this example. If you want to contract your muscles of the hand, that called skeletal muscle, how do you do that? First, you have to make a decision that I'm going to hold the glass. So when you make this decision, it goes to the brain. Then the brain takes the decision to contract the muscles of your hand. So what is brain? Brain consists of nerve cells. Then brain sends signal to the muscles to contract. You and your brain work together to do that. Let's take another example. You touch very hot surface. Now you are not thinking, oh, this is very hot. Should I take my hand or I should keep my hand? You are not taking decision. Then without your consent, without your awareness, immediately take hand from this surface. So how it does? The nervous system sends signal quickly to contract the muscles. So message is nervous system and the muscles are work very closely to each other for contraction. Contraction and relaxation and movement of the muscles is done by the brain and the nervous system. So if a person brain is not working properly, then the coordination muscle movement is not possible. Example, we all know some diseases like a Parkinson disease. The brain cannot coordinate the muscles and the person is the hands and legs and body is moving without coordination and awareness. So then nervous system are strongly connected with muscles to contract. Right. Then if I ask a question, if we take animals and then animal experiment, so if we remove heart from this animal surgically and take heart out, will this heart immediately stop? Will it contract? So usually this heart is contracting. So we remove from the nervous system, but heart is contracting. And people use a small animal heart for studies, attaching to a artificial system. They completely remove from the small animals like a rat, and they are attached to artificial system, and heart is contracting. So there is no connection to the nerve. Now, how we going to understand these two different situations? So first of all, we clearly said nervous system has very strong connection to the muscles, and it's a good example. If we want to make movement, we have to take a decision by brain and doing it. Even involuntary, the nervous system take decision to take if we touch very hot surface. So nervous system make the decision to contract the muscles by sending signal. But we learn heart is not like that. Heart can still contract even we separate from the system, nervous system. So then we can make a half decision. Well, it is not connected to the nervous system. Maybe it is connected to the nervous system. So we make a clear conclusion now. Heart is connected to the nervous system. Heart is connected to the nervous system. But heart work independently. What is the role of nervous system then? So nervous system only important to increase the heart rate. So nervous system is important to increase the heart rate. So normal contraction, like when person is rest, it is done by the heart at rest. It's only heart. Heart contraction and relaxation is done by the heart itself. There is no involvement of nervous system, brain or other place is not involved. So brain is important if heart wants to increase the heart rate. If persons are rest, nervous system are not important. I think this has some advantage because we all know that in certain cases, nervous system is separated, removed, like the connection is no longer there, the person cannot use that part. If person break the nerves from the spinal cord of lower part, then brain has no coordination to the lower parts, the person is paralyzed. So person cannot walk because nervous system is not connected to the muscles. So in this case, if something happen like that, still heart is pumping because of it can make its own contraction without big help from the nervous system. Then we should now going to learn where is the control center of the heart, at which place we can find the control center of the heart. That means if heart contract rhythmically, at one time there is a signal to contract and then signal off to relax, and again signal sent to contract, because we know the heart rate is rhythmic every time. There are about 75 beats per minute. So it's a rhythmically contract and relax. So then we understand there is a signal going to contract, signal off. Signal going to contract, signal off. So this should happen, and there are something there to operate this system. So then coming back again, the heart muscles, myocardium entirely consist of muscles. Entirely consist of muscles. So there is no special place we can find. So if we try to see what is this myocardium, it's all heart muscles. And then blood vessels. So we have to still find the place where it generate the signals. Okay, so now we straightforward come to that place. So if we take the right side of the heart, this is the muscles of the atrium, and this is the muscles of the ventricles. So the red color area represent the cardiac muscles, heart muscles, myocardium, right? And we can find specialized heart muscle cells somewhere here. So they are nothing else there. If we look microscope, these cells are muscle cells, heart muscle cells. And there is another special cells we can also find in the atrium and close to the ventricles. And they are connected to each other. So if you draw a heart like this, so here, this area, and then here, this area, and they are connected to each other. So this connection is also these specialized muscles. And there's another line of muscles is going to this side. So they are group of cardiac muscles organized, and they are very special than other cardiac muscles. Specialty is these cardiac muscles can produce an electrical signal. So we call it impulse, electrical impulse. So we can understand if there is a positive charges and negative charges of the heart muscles membrane change, that can generate some kind of electrical potentials, because distribution of negative charge and positive charge, negative ions and positive ions. So one side negative ions there, other side positive ions there, then this can make an electrical impulse. So all we have to talk in detail in nervous system, but we can understand these specialized muscles of the right atrium is called sinoatrial node. Or SA node. So they are specialized heart muscles in the right atrium. They are called sinoatrial node. What is the specialty? They can make electrical impulses. So they can produce electrical impulses. An SA node is connected to the another node called atrioventricular node. This one is atrioventricular node or AV node. Atrioventricular node or AV node. Okay, then In the middle here, the atrium and ventricle, they are separated by a fibrous ring. For example, if we cut from this place, so it is like this. There is a fibrous ring, and this side represents the ventricles, and the other side represents the atrium. So if I separate atrium and ventricle, there is a fibrous ring in the walls of the muscles. So this fibrous ring is a non-conducting zone. Non-conducting zone means when electrical impulse generate at the SA node, so it can go through this to the fibers, this connection to the AV node, and it can go to this place and this place. That means if they make electrical impulse, it spread all over the atrium. It is not going to the ventricle. Why it is not going to the ventricle? This fibrous ring not allowed to pass. So it is not going to the ventricles. It is only spreading on the atrium. So this is a non-conducting fibrous ring. So in conclusion, if there is electrical impulses generated by SA node, it is only spread to the atrium. There is a insulation non-conducting zone, it is not going to the ventricles. Because atrium and ventricle, they are very close to each other, that's not separated. It's a one unit of muscles. But the whole muscles are separated by this fibrous ring. Okay, then first we understand if there is a signal generated by SA node, it can spread all over the ventricles, right and left, both ventricles. These impulses are going, and some part is also going to the AV node. SA node generates electrical impulse spread all over the atrium of right side and left side. It is also going to the AV node. But then there is a fibrous ring around ventricle and atrium which prevent moving this signal to the ventricles. Okay, if it is the case, how the signal is going to the ventricles? So, to understand that, we need, again, the complete picture of this adds here. So, this is a SA node. And this is the AV node. So they are connected to each other like this, and that's also connected to the other side. Okay, if this circuit is not able to send signal to the ventricles, ventricle should have a separate system, but ventricle has no separate system there. It has no separate system. Now, story continues from this AV node. Then there is another connection, separate connections going to the ventricle side like this. And this separate connection is called bundle of His. This line is called bundle of His, and these branches are called Purkinje fiber. It's a completely different circuit attached to the AV node, and then signal is going to the ventricles. So now we can understand heart has this conducting system starting from SA node, then goes to the AV node, then goes to the bundle of His, then go to the Purkinje fiber. From Purkinje fiber, it can spread to the ventricles. So these ventricles get the signal after that. SA node can directly send signal to the atrium. And atrium signal is not passing to the ventricles because of this separation. Fibrous rings separate atrium and ventricle. Atrium contracts separately, ventricle contracts separately. Okay. Now, next, I said from the beginning, heart works independently at rest. It's only heart, it can make this signal. But when only important to increase the heart rate, nervous system can attach to the heart. So this is nervous system mean brain. Okay, then the brain is also connected to the SA node, especially through nerves. So brain is also connected to the SA node through nerves. Now brain can control the SA node when it needs to increase heart rate, because SA node make 75 electrical impulses at rest. That contraction is 75 beats per minute. If the brain wants to make it higher, then the brain adds signals to the SA node. So SA node may be firing this time 100, 120. So when the requirement is there, brain asks SA node to make very quickly signals. So interval should be reduced and it can make more signals and heart rate increase. This is something we can understand. Brain is aware of all the situation of our body. The brain is a coordination point. Example, if you started to do exercise, you need more energy. You need more oxygen. So heart doesn't know that you have started exercise. Heart can't increase the pumping speed or beat to deliver more oxygen. But brain identify this is the situation where muscles need more oxygen and nutrients. Then the brain is send signal to heart to increase the heart rate. So this is the communication between brain and the heart. So we will learn a little bit more detail later how actually this system is identified by the brain and how brain can send signal to the heart. So this connection with the brain we can understand later in different situations. Even respiratory system and the circulatory system, when they both work together, oxygen is needed by the muscles. Then we have to send more oxygen, so heart is increasing the rate. But now, when we're going to understand the function of the heart, how heart exactly contract and relax, what is happening, to understand that, before that we learn, it has a signal generating center, pacemaker. The pacemaker is the SA node. So SA node is our life, because SA node stop, life stop. So it should contract, it should generate signal always until the end of the lifespan of a person. This is happening without the nervous system, involvement of nervous system. So they have a specialized muscle cells. These muscle cells can generate nerve impulse or electrical impulse, and these impulses are going to the AV node, then go to bundle of His and Purkinje fiber to the ventricles. First, it goes to the atrium, then it goes to the ventricles. So I think in the next lesson, we are going to learn the cardiac cycle. So what are the events take place from one contraction to another relaxation, contract to relaxation? What are the events take place, and what is the involvement of SA node and AV node to make this contraction and relaxations? That is the cardiac cycle. So that's one of the most important lessons in this circulation, the structure of the heart, conducting system, and a cardiac cycle. So these three represent the most important part of this lesson. I think we need a lot of energy to continue and to understand the cardiac cycle. So far, what we learn about the heart, just to summarize, we learn we learn the position of the heart in the body, and we learn the structure of the myocardium, endocardium, and pericardium. And then we learn the parts of the heart, and then we learn the capillary muscle and chordae tendineae and coronary circulation, and then the conducting system of the heart. Okay, if you have a time, just a little bit go through it for better understanding of the cardiac cycle in the next lesson. We will continue next time, and just go through these lessons again and again, and try to remember as much as possible all the information about this lesson. Okay, I can send this link later on, and you can go through again, right? So I'm going to stop. Yes, I can add, I have to add to the YouTube and process and then I had to link to again to this site. So I will maybe do it tomorrow or day after, because again, power cut, we have the night power cut. I don't think we can work 1 hour 20 minutes until 10 o'clock. So I don't think I can do it today. Anyway, I will send the link as soon as possible, right? All right, then see you next time. Take care.